You are listening to Offensive Lines with Marlon and Boyd. Small stakes NFL gambling for the average fan.
Welcome to Offensive Lines. I'm Marlon.
I'm Boyd.
And this is week 3 of the preseason edition. So I was better behaved. Did my homework assignment, watched Hard Knocks.
Well, that's good. And so my belief that it's still better than Amazon's production?
Yes.
Do you agree or disagree?
No, I disagree.
Get out.
No, I much preferred that the whole all or nothing practice. It seemed, particularly once you got to about episode 2 or 3, it seemed way more naturalistic to me. Now, I know it's still manipulated, it's still all of that, but there are fewer of the production pieces that in Hard Knocks still always feel forced to me.
Yeah, but they're forced in the other one.
But there are fewer of them. And once everyone became immune to the cameras, I thought a lot of like the practice footage, the coaches just talking to the GM and all of that, I think they genuinely forgotten about the cameras.
See, I don't buy that totally. Because that Steve Keim would have fucking tore that.
That is true. You
apart.
brought up that example of him being restrained. But no, for whatever reason, the game footage in regular season games I thought was just superb. Which added to a whole sort of feel to it. Like, it's still good in these preseason games, but they're a smaller part of the same thing. But sometimes those plays that, you know, in the Cardinals games that I could remember and look up whether we gambled on them or who I picked and all of that, you know, they'd show 4 angles of a certain play that I hadn't seen before, and I thought those were just great.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Hard Knocks is bad.
No.
And I'm not really going to stop watching it at any point. But my preference would be, I would love to see another series.
Yeah, well, I'm sure Amazon. Well, they're doing another season. We just don't know the team.
Yeah. And NFL Films is so present at all the games. I was a little surprised that no one seemed to know about this Amazon thing.
Well, you know, if you're working with the NFL and you fuck them over, you're dead.
Yeah.
So...
But in this era of all information leaking, it was surprising.
Well, no, but there's nothing would be different. Because, like you said, the NFL Films cameras are everywhere. So nobody would think anything different. They just got the access to the footage.
Yeah.
And the pieces, and even the pieces outside of the stadium or practice or whatever wouldn't seem weird anymore.
No, it's like
if somebody saw a camera crew,
we want to come hang out at with your wife and you at your home just to do a little profile piece. It's probably in their contracts that they can't even say no. And you're right; it wouldn't seem unusual in any way.
No, nobody would notice anything different. Oh, yeah. What's if I lived in the neighborhood with Peterson? How would that seem any different?
Yeah.
Than normal. And it would be an NFL Films crew there. It might be now harder to keep it under wraps. Like just fans noticing stuff.
Yeah, because now they know what to look for. But
yeah.
You know, as I've said, one of the fantasy football podcasts I listen to is based in Arizona. They're Cardinals fans, and they were absolutely stunned when it was announced that this was coming out. That would be a great present, especially when your team's good.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to watch a dumpster fire like the Browns for 16 weeks.
Wow. I would still like to see one of those with completely disrupt. You know, Arizona seemed like a well-run football team. I would like to see one of the dysfunctional franchises.
Yeah, but would you get
No, and they probably won't ever go that way.
No, but you don't know. That's the thing. Do they just shelve? If they did follow around a team that was supposed to be good like Arizona and they ended up going 6-10 or 5-11, would they even air it?
Well, Amazon would probably have to sort of insist on their money, because they paid for it.
No, I know, but would they just get a refund from the NFL and say, sorry, this was a dumpster fire, we're not fucking... Because if you
I could see that, but on the other hand, the NFL really doesn't like giving refunds.
No, but on this, it's all about brand.
Yeah, and that's why neither Hard Knocks nor these are true documentaries, in a sense. They are public relations.
Yeah, and they're not going to let them show the league in a bad light. So, I can imagine what it looks like, the directive from the NFL when you're the team chosen for Hard Knocks. What you'd have to read and what you're expected to do and how you're expected to act. If they fucking fine you for wearing your fucking socks too low in a football game, what are the restrictions here? You wouldn't have a choice. And I'm sure there would be, if anything, well, they can cut everything that makes the league look bad. So you're never getting a true look at what's going on. You're only getting what they'll put out there. Who the hell knows what goes on in practices and shit any more than what we see in both of them.
Yeah, I agree.
And my biggest, what I like more about HBO than Amazon, which they're both fantastic, don't get me wrong, is the pacing and the narration. I like better in Hard Knocks than in All or Nothing.
Yeah.
But the part I don't like in so far with the Rams this year in Hard Knocks is those stupid talks they have with just Jeff Fisher. When he's explaining about the idiot that thinks mermaids are real and dinosaurs didn't exist.
Yeah, I would have much preferred just having him wandering around talking.
Yes, or they could have narrated a couple of sentences to tell us about him and not have Fisher explain it for 3 minutes or whatever it was. So, but it's football. It's behind the scenes stuff that we never get to see before, even though it's been going on for 11 years with Hard Knocks. And that's the kind of stuff I like to see, not just interviews and stuff. And and with the Rams getting Goff first, there hasn't been any real rookie stories they're following.
No,
except maybe for that Spruce now.
Well, yeah, I think he'll come in, and I think they were going to focus on that safety, the Rhino.
Yeah.
Until he, unfortunately, blew out his ACL, and as an undrafted rookie, that's the end.
Yeah. And, I thought that Farrell Cooper, too, because they had him and Goff in the fucking blimp at the start of episode 1.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I was thinking he might. But they focused more on episode 2 on the guy they just signed that didn't get in the game. And his wife and kid. Because his dad used to play in the league.
Yeah.
Oh, they did focus on your boy.
Junior's nephew.
Yeah, he looked pretty good for third string against third string.
I think he's an undrafted rookie, too. I mean...
Yeah, but D-line...
But I was a little surprised they didn't focus more on him, to tell you the truth, because we kind of seen their format. They take about 4 rookies
that are on
varying
the bubble.
Success likelihoods, and they kind of try to tell you their story. Which I don't mind them moving away from that a little bit, in a sense, because the formula was becoming just that, a formula.
Yeah.
And I don't mind a slight different direction, though I do think this Spruce
right.
and Seau will start to become more in focus with the upcoming episodes.
But that should come naturally just from talking to the coaches and who you got on your chart, who are you watching, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like where sometimes it seemed like they were just picking it was never the first round pick like Goff.
No.
Because they've never really had that. It was always like the 3rd through 7th round guys who were on the bubble and had to do extra stuff to make it. Now, a lot of it is focused on Goff. And I just thought of this now because I'd forgot about it before. How in the fuck can you have a dune buggy on campus at a university?
California?
No, but a golf cart I get. A dune buggy? The one guy had a fucking full-size dune buggy. The one Kenny Britt and Quick fucking flipped over. That was more like a...
That was like a souped-up golf cart, right?
No, but it was a small dune buggy. But the one guy was riding around in fucking full-sized one.
Yeah, that athletic trainer, when they were going to go work out. I know the one you mean.
Yeah, he hopped in the back. And that little bench seat in the back, which wasn't much room, but fuck, it was full-on fucking size dune, and they're driving around campus. And Fisher tells them, "No, just be careful what you're doing with those things." And then, fuck, they show them rolling one. They're fucking lucky. No seat belts on, nothing.
Yeah, and the roll cage frame landed on...
Quick.
Was it Quick? Okay.
Yeah. I believe so.
For some reason, I thought it was Britt, but...
Although people will claim sometimes they all look alike. I thought it was Quick, but...
Was it Dumb or Dumber?
Yeah.
That actually was kind of funny.
It was funny because nobody got hurt.
Yeah.
But pure stupidity. And the fucking guys ramming into other golf carts, and it's like they're big 10-year-olds.
Yeah, and those rookies who went down, well, this is the most dangerous beach, and well, should we go in? And Shelley was going, are they allowed to do something at the most dangerous beach? And I'm going, oh, if I were an owner, I'm not certain I'd let them leave the building.
Well, I think swimming works. I think swimming, you're okay.
Yeah, there's undertows and...
Oh, well, no, I know, but I don't think they've written swimming into the...
You see, I would as an owner, but that's just my deep down.
Yeah, but how are they
nature.
supposed to stay in? How are they supposed to stay in shape?
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, I get skydiving and all that shit and playing organized basketball or pickup basketball, but fuck swimming?
Yeah, I know, but that surf was pretty nasty. I have to say.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't go in it. But I wouldn't play in the NFL either if somebody gave me the skill and ability to do it. I'd find another sport.
Yeah, well, that's true. And that's one thing, too. Like, the practices, the level of practice seems unsurvivable to most humans to me. Even just the contact once they put the pads on.
And they only do that a couple of times a week now.
Yeah. Which has got to be a bit of a shock when you get to the regular season.
Or the first preseason game.
Yeah.
You've only had the pads on a couple of times. But did you like that basically a little different version than the Oklahoma drill that they did in L.A.? And it's episode 1, the first day of the pads.
Okay, yeah.
They didn't line them up 5 feet from each other, but it was basically the same thing. Just trying out muscle the man you're going against.
Yeah, but and I can see why that is still kind of fun, right? It's not the same concussive impact.
No.
No, I like that. I liked their little grip contest, though I still think that was more about technique than actual strength of your hand.
No, it wasn't even about technique. It was reaction time. Because he'd blow the whistle, and you just had, if you didn't jerk it first, you were done. That's just a reaction time drill. It had nothing to do with grip strength. Guy with the quickest reaction time wins. It's like winning a face-off in hockey. It's usually the quickest, not the strongest.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I see that. I think you're right. What other moments did I like?
I like the new tackling dummies that are motorized. That was kind of comical.
Well, I liked when they just were surprising the players coming onto the practice field. I thought that was hilarious. Because
it looks just like a tackling dummy, and then they fucking roll it at him.
And Austin, his first reaction was immediately just to double arm it. Just no hesitation, just hit it.
And I like the girly stuff. Not as feminine as the actual football player.
I thought it was funny because they showed him doing that interview, and he seemed so quiet. I thought he was just completely shy. And then they cut to him at practice, and he, as they said, he just won't shut his mouth.
What did they say? They made some line about him.
The only thing faster... Oh, no, that was Austin.
In episode 1, they said something about Gurley. He's cocky, but something or whatever. It was a good line that they made about him, and he just doesn't shut up. And he's squawking all practice.
Was it him or his or Austin who saw the guy in the Luck jersey? Get that Colts fan out of here!
Yeah, that was Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't wear like my Titans gear only comes out when I watch a game or go somewhere to watch a game.
Yep.
And I might for the draft this weekend, for a fantasy draft. But we'll see how hot it is out. If it's too hot, I won't be. But that's it. I wouldn't wear it. Even if I wasn't a Rams fan, I still wouldn't wear my team's jersey to a Rams practice. Maybe a hat, but not a fucking jersey.
And you certainly wouldn't wear it to a different team's practice.
No. And when I'm pushing 50, it's not really a fashion choice anymore.
No. Well, it is. It's not a good one, and I feel the same way.
Yeah, if we're going to the bar to watch a game, I'll throw it on.
Yeah, usually what I'll do even then, is just throw on a T-shirt or whatever that says Chargers. But it was enjoyable, though it was strange that the copies we, acquired of Hard Knocks, because for some reason it still doesn't run in Canada, even though I pay for that network, it was censored, the second episode.
Yeah, which was weird. Because when I first started watching, it's like, beep, beep, beep. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then, they're censoring it. Fuck. So my guess is it's from showing outside the country on a channel that isn't HBO.
But what I had had the promo for HBO, all their sports packages, like Boxing After Dark, Real Sports. That was the promo, and I even got the logo for HBO.
Well, unless it was, you know what it was probably?
I bet they run both.
A version that they run during the day.
Yeah, exactly. I bet you there's censored and uncensored ones.
Yeah, the ones after.
Because they do that for the hockey one, don't they?
No, I'd never seen one censored, but I always watched it when it premiered. But HBO's cable. Why would they know? They don't censor movies or anything during the day. No.
No, I think that there's a particular broadcast of it censored, so then, the NFL wants it available to any fan, right, of any age.
Yeah, but they wouldn't run it on HBO though.
Yeah, they probably would. They would just be, this broadcast is censored, this one is not.
It doesn't make any sense. To me, it doesn't make... you're probably right, but it just doesn't make any sense.
No,
that you're on cable because they don't censor the movies at fucking 2 PM. Why would you censor Hard Knocks?
Yeah. I guess to give access to the younger, even though the censoring, I've never really understood what it prevents, because you can usually figure out the words, except for that ex-Marine who was yelling at the start of episode 2 when I first noticed the censoring. That seemed really colorful, and I'm really going to have to find the uncensored version, because he goes on at length. Yes.
Well, what I like... Oh, there's another guy I liked in that. Is their defensive line coach. He's fucking... Or is that the guy you're talking
about? Yeah, that's the guy I'm talking to. Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's the type of guy I'd like to have for a coach. I like the intensity.
It's certainly intense.
I always perform better with the intense coaches.
Yeah.
Personally, I did in sports.
Yeah, there would be bad days with him. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, but you need that.
Yeah. And, hey, the defensive line is the one thing the Rams have.
That's been fairly... Well, they were inconsistent last year, but it's been their best unit over the last... Fisher's tenure.
Oh, yeah. Aaron Donald is outstanding. And that was one thing, too. Like, the best player you've never heard of. And I'm thinking, pretty much any NFL fan is aware of Aaron Donald.
Yeah. But for the casual person that... And let's be honest, I bet you, 75% would be considered casual fan?
Yeah, I guess, but... I mean, Aaron Donald as an interior lineman is...
Marlon,
yeah,
you and I talk to a lot of people about sports, not necessarily know to be football fans, that think they are. But once they start talking, you realize they don't know anything.
This is true.
That's who they're talking about. Not like there's lots of people would know their own team. Players.
Yeah.
And wouldn't know. And that's who they follow. And nothing against it. But if you live in New York and you're busy and you're a Giants fan, are you, with so much else to do, are you fucking... The hardcore fans come from cold climate. If I lived in Florida or California or somewhere warm, would you be fucking sitting looking at fucking stats and watching 6 games on a Sunday? No. The hardcore fans all come from cold climates because there's fuck all to do in the winter.
Yeah, the cold open for this year of Hard Knocks was pretty good though too, because I didn't really know what Goff and that other kid were doing when they were strapping in.
Oh, okay.
Then Goff goes, fun fact, GTA 5 has a blimp. I've flown that. They go up in the blimp.
Yeah. Oh, the generation. And now that you compare video games to real life situations.
Yeah. When you, you know a lot more about college ball than I do. So Goff's UCLA, right?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Because where did he play? Because the thing that I found shocking was that they had to teach him how to take a snap under center.
Yeah.
And I was going, did he only play in a spread offense and took all snaps in the shotgun?
No, he went to Berkeley.
Berkeley, okay.
Here, I thought it was going to say, it says University of California. I was thinking, oh, fuck. Was I wrong? No, Berkeley.
Okay. Because it must have just been... That's the only explanation I can have, that you have to spend a lengthy chunk just showing him how to take a snap under center.
Well, no, but that's the college. He hadn't taken a snap in high school or college under center.
Wow.
And that was kind of a comical point when Kush was telling him to stick the knuckle in deep.
Yeah.
Oh, the Kush segments have been kind of funny too, with the tank tops.
Yeah, I think he acts like a center. I still think a center is kind of a different mind. A lot of them seem a little quirky.
Yeah. But Goff looks small, doesn't he?
He does.
Like frail, small?
Yeah,
Not
like thin.
Tall.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like when he looks like a normal sized human, and you even see, like, going back to Jim Everett, you know, he still looked big and athletic.
Yeah.
Goff looks like a kid, like a normal kid.
Yeah, you saw Brady today at a press conference. Fuck, he looks gaunt. In the face, he looks like he's 20 pounds last year.
Really?
Oh, he's fucking gaunt. Like model face gaunt.
I'm going to have to check that out.
He's fucking... My wife even said he needs to eat a sandwich. She's going, is that Brady? You're not very big. Well, I said, well, you don't have to be big as a quarterback, because the theory is you're not supposed to get hit.
But you can't be frail. You're still going to take some crunches.
Oh,
like, ask Goff about that one right in the ribs that he took him through that pick. That
was on his first pass.
Yeah, that was right in an unprotected section of rib cage, and it had impact.
And it was his shoulder that got hurt when he hit the ground.
Yeah,
left shoulder.
At his frame, like you bring up, how many shots can you take to your torso?
Yeah, Brady, I was shocked to see him this skinny.
Well, he's been screaming about food for a couple of years. Is he going a little too far?
I don't know. He looked a lot skinnier than last year.
Who are we kidding? Once his suspension's over, he's going to come out and perform like the fucking god among men that he is.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm not doubting that, but I was kind of surprising to see him. Like when Pat said it, and I was thinking it, and I'm like, fuck. I bet you he dropped 20 pounds.
Well, guys can go too far. I still remember when Jerry Rice took his body fat down to 0 against all advice, because he was eating his own muscles by late in games, right?
Yeah.
And he's going, I took bad advice. Now it's at 4%. That gives me enough of a reserve.
Fuck. But yeah, they just keep wanting to hone as you get older.
Yeah. Well, and it seems like, well, how can it be bad, right? But, Rice even ignored medical people who said, no, you need a percentage of body fat.
Yeah. All right, let's get into some gambling.
All right.
Hard Knocks is great again. We'll through the preseason and review each episode, but just go watch it. You won't be disappointed.
And for obvious reasons, I am pulling for Junior's nephew.
Yes. I think I was. Fuck.
Well, he seemed like a decent kid, too.
Yes.
He's going, he was a number 1 draft pick. I'm just another guy.
Yeah.
If you're self-aware enough to say that like that, your head's on pretty straight. Okay. All right. My first suggestion, and last week we went 1-1.
Yeah, sorry.
So we have a 3-1 record, and
we're profiting about $8.
$8 on 20 bets. Not too bad, but I think we can't lay a lot of points in preseason.
Well, no, I fucked up. We should have just stuck with fucking Zimmer and against Seattle.
Yeah.
Should have just went with the hot hand. He's lost one fucking game in the preseason, and his coach.
And I don't think he's going to lose this week, but I'm not certain about laying 4.
But, that was okay.
my first suggestion is going to the old man, Andy Reid, who has an 11-6 record in preseason week 3, which, by the way, I guess we should point out, preseason week 3 is known as the dress rehearsal week. This is the last time you'll really see most of the starters.
Yeah, they'll get one series in week 4, maybe 2.
Yeah, or maybe 0. I mean, depending. So this is the closest these preseason games get to a real game of football. Andy Reid, for all the problems sometimes, has, as I said, an 11-6 record in week 3. They are laying 1.5 points to a dreadful Bears squad. And usually quality of team doesn't matter so much here, except that there's probably going to be 3/4 of mostly starters out there. And the Chiefs are just far better than the Bears.
Yeah, no, I like that one.
Okay.
For all the reasons stated.
I think the Bears are really bad this year, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, Fox has a decent enough preseason record, but there is not a lot encouraging that I can find in Chicago.
No. Nothing. Okay. My first game that I'm bringing in might be a little surprising. I'm going Dallas +6 in Seattle.
I didn't hate that.
Elliott's going to play, like you said. Well, Bryant's not going to play now. We found that out today. He had a concussion. Seattle was horrible against Minnesota. Elliott's going to get he hasn't seen any action in the preseason that I know of yet. I think they're going to test him a lot. Run behind that line. Romo's going to play 2.5 quarters.
And
I like this. I like the 6 points. And with you, like before the podcast, you were saying, "Did you see Prescott?" And I hadn't seen him, but I'd read about it.
I
think that puts us over the top.
Seeing it looks as good as reading about it. Like, we don't pay that much attention, but there's a certain poise and comfort at the quarterback position from a rookie you don't usually see. The last guy everybody raved about in preseason like this was Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
I mean, he currently is responsible for more touchdowns than incompletions.
Well, and I like this bet based more on the reserves than the starters.
Yeah.
I think Dallas might be behind at the half, but I think they cover in the second half.
And we'll have to see, because I did watch a bit of that Seahawks-Minnesota game, mainly the reserves. The Seahawks offensive line, once they get past the starters, who aren't very good either, just terrible. They were collapsing. It looked like watching a San Diego game.
And who's Seattle's backup quarterback?
They had 2 in there. Neither one... I can't think of their names right now. But they were running for their lives and throwing bad balls. Even when they'd get a completion, it didn't feel like they'd earned it. It was panic and chuck. So getting 6 points, I like this game too.
Okay.
Garrett's record in the preseason is no great hell, but...
Trevon Boykin
Yep.
is one. I'm not going to look for the other one. He's in his second year. So...
And I don't think they're going to play their running back much.
Rawls?
Rawls. I mean, he's off the pup. He's supposed to be fine, but if he gets any touches at all, why would you risk a guy coming back from a pretty badly broken leg?
Yeah. No, you know what he can do.
So we're going to see Preseason, and who I didn't see at all. Maybe he's good, but I'm not a believer in that yet.
Well, a lot of Christine Michael, too.
Yeah, he'll probably start the game, and he's been having a hell of a year. Dallas's defense is definitely their weak link, but I suspect they can score enough. Des Bryant being out is bad, but it wasn't like they were just going to him again. He was only in these first 2 games for a couple of series. He was just wildly productive.
But I'm seriously making this bet on the second half.
Yeah. And 6 points in a preseason? That seems, well, mine says 5.5, but I did that at about 7 today, so.
Yeah, it's at 6 now.
Well, fuck, let's do it.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll put that in the mix.
Okay. I do think that Zimmer and the Vikings are going to crush the Chargers.
Well, and the reason I was going to bring that game in, and I know we don't bet in this preseason, so I think we can throw that rule out the window on our own teams, is their first game in their new stadium.
Yeah.
Was my biggest. Zimmer's record, first game in a new stadium. Place will be nuts. They'll be hyped up in the Vikings locker room like it's a regular season game. And apparently this stadium is louder than the Metrodome. They built it that way.
Okay.
I like to call it the Seahawk effect.
Well, it's a possibility, but I did have one other one which you might find a little bit surprising. I don't mind the New Orleans Saints minus 1.5 against the Steelers. Peyton is another guy who he's 8-2 in week 3 in the preseason. And he's had some pretty horrible teams in this point. Like, we agree that New Orleans isn't very good. Pittsburgh has looked awful.
Yeah.
And I would also think that they have little reason to really trot out their starters there much. Those that aren't on suspension.
No, because they can't afford to get them hurt.
Yeah. They've got no depth. So that was my other one. It's in New Orleans. 1.5 isn't a terrible lay. Because typically preseason games are like 3.
Yes.
So we're kind of taking advantage of the Pittsburgh money in that game. So that was my other candidate.
Okay. The other one I was thinking of was, where the hell is it now? Arizona +1 at Houston. Okay. Now, I don't know. Houston's shitty. The only player they have is DeAndre Hopkins. That's proven. J.J. Watt's out. Defense is going to be horrible. The only thing that scares me about this game is how long is Arizona going to play their guys? Because they know what they have.
Yeah. It's kind of the same sort of thing I was saying about Pittsburgh. They don't have much to prove with their talent. I don't think there are a lot of positional battles going on, you know?
No.
I see your point, but I think I prefer any of the first 3 we brought up.
Okay. I'm just looking at the other ones here. Let's see if I missed something.
And Arians, by the way, is only 1-2 in week 3 as a head coach.
Okay.
And a 6-7.
Well, Zimmer's probably undefeated. Is he?
Mike Zimmer. Where's Mike Zimmer? Minnesota. Yeah, 2-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, his only preseason loss thus far in his career was in a week 4, which, as we just kind of discussed, is not really even a football game. You're either doing favors for kids you're going to cut, try to give them something of a reel that they can shop around.
Yeah. No, let's go with my choice would be Kansas City, Chicago, and New Orleans, Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Only reason being just the points. I think the Vikings are going to crush them. But when we only have to lay 1.5 with New Orleans and 1.5 with Kansas City.
Yeah. But there's the Dallas Seahawks, which I think you made a pretty strong argument for, too.
Oh, shit, yeah. Fuck. See, I could bet all 4 of these. I wouldn't mind. But it's preseason. That would be stupid.
Why don't we go with our first 2?
Kansas City, Chicago?
Take KC over Chicago and take Dallas in the points.
Yeah, but Pittsburgh's been an absolute dumpster fire.
It's true. I mean, we could take Dallas out because, I mean, Garrett's not...
What's his record?
He is 3-2 in week 3.
And overall?
Overall, he is 8-14.
Okay, goodbye. And what's Tomlin's record?
Tomlin's overall record is good at 21-18, but he has actually been, in the last 4 years, 0-4, 1-3, 1-4.
Yeah. No, we're going New Orleans.
Okay.
Fuck Dallas. I don't mind the Dallas pick if we were betting 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd rather take 6 than give 4.5 with the Vikings, but with
it
2,
wouldn't be a terrible game either, though.
No, it's a no-brainer.
All right.
Do you want to do a preseason special? Do a parlay?
No. We might introduce some parlays once we rack up some wins when it matters, but
come on.
No, not in preseason. It's too random. Even just watching Hard Knocks when Dallas was up 24-7.
Yeah.
Threw in their backups and managed to lose.
Well, that goes against my whole point. You're right. I forgot all about that. They lost to the third-string quarterback who apparently, when I was looking up where Goff went to school, it says Goff is third on the depth chart.
Oh. I don't know. Anyway.
No, I'm just throwing it out there because it just
I just want to bring up one other thing I really did enjoy in Hard Knocks was the locker room in halftime of that first preseason game.
Oh, yeah.
Where the defensive coordinator was just screaming and you could hear one of the other positional meetings and you just hear, fuck! from the background, too.
Yeah, that's a good show.
It is. Oh, yeah. No, it's a very good show. I just, my preference was kind of for the other one. But I'm certainly... I'm going to watch them both.
So that's okay. You're wrong, but we'll let it go.
Okay.
Got to have some contention. This podcast has been too friendly.
This is true. It's your new Zen mindset.
Okay, so we got the Saints minus 1.5 at home to face the Steelers. $5 pays $9.54. Booked. And then we have Kansas City on the road to face the Bears. They're minus 1.5, and the payout's going to be the same. $5 pays $9.54, and they are both booked.
Okay.
Let's win both of these bitches. I like turning a profit in the preseason. It's good springboard into the regular season.
Yeah, well, we're not there yet, but 3-1. It's not terrible for preseason.
As we sit right now, we've got money on our bankroll to do 4 weeks and not win a game in the regular season. I feel pretty good.
No kidding.
Because last year, our goal stated at the start of the year was to never have to put money into the account, and we never did. And we finished profit of $80 after the Super Bowl from all our bets, preseason, fucking over-unders,
futures,
all that shit. So what did we figure? About 10% profit on our
it was
cash
a little
from last year.
But yeah,
well, about $3 less than full 10%.
But nevertheless, betting on the NFL is hard. Turning a profit.
Ask me about my fantasy team. Fuck, I might as well burn bucks every year. All right. If you want to listen to our podcast, you can listen to it on iTunes or Stitcher for your Android device, on our website, offensivelines.ca. Follow us on Twitter at Offensive Lines for any updates to our blog posts or when a new podcast is available. Our personal Twitter accounts at OLinesMarlon or at OLinesBoyd. Facebook.com/Offensive Lines. And if you want to send us an email, it's offensivelines@shaw.ca. I'm Boyd.
I'm Marlon. And that was week 3 of the preseason. I'm going to go find me a dinosaur underwater.
Degenerate fucking gambler.